Hi everybody, welcome back. Today's video is going to be in our milking parlor and our milking barns. I'm going to show you those areas of our farm. Just out front of the dairy here, as you can see, it's still winter. So that barn over there, that's a milking barn. And then we've got our parlor in here. There's offices, bathrooms on that side. Then a milking barn on that side also. And then behind the parlor here, there's a milking barn. So we'll go inside here. So we have a double 24 parlor. We're currently down for lunch, or our equipment is washing here. It's just kicking on now. I thought I'd just wait till the wash was done running there. So like I said, we're milking 24 on either side here, so we can milk 48 at a time. We have Westphalia Surge GEA parlor equipment. So there's all these machines here have an individual computer that's and a milk meter, so we can see how much milk the cows are producing in here. And all that stuff is in the basement. So there is a basement underneath where I'm standing. That's where the milk goes from here down there. And then the computers are down there, milk lines are down there. I'll take you down there once we're done up here. But there's milk meters down there, so when the cows finish milking, these machines will come off automatically, but we do have to do all the udder prep and attach them ourselves. So back here, this is where our holding area is. So a group of cows will come in here together at a time. This is rubber flooring here, and then they'll walk up through here. This gate will open, and they walk in through here, and then they'll each turn, and then they're standing 24 together side by side. This is all rubber flooring in here also. Our whole parlor and holding area has rubber flooring. So the cows will walk in here side by side, 24 on either side, and when the whole group of 24 cows is done, these gates here will lift straight up, and then the cows will walk straight out. So these gates will lift straight up, the cows will walk out here, and then down this smaller alley, and then they'll head back to their pen. And while the cows are in here being milked, while this group of cows is being milked, that group's pen is being cleaned, and then when they're done milking, they go back to a clean pen. I'll take you down to the basement now, and then we'll probably go look at the milk tanks in our equipment room. I figured I'd show you guys the parlor while we're not milking, then I can kind of show you a little bit better what's going on in here. I'll probably do a whole video on the milking here at sometime down the line, but yeah, I thought it'd be a little bit easier to explain to you guys and show you guys how everything is set up here without the cows in here. I'm in the basement here now, right underneath the parlor. So where I'm standing now would be directly underneath where I was standing upstairs. We've got some milk lines here on either side, and then also that white PVC line that you see up top, that's for the vacuum. So each individual milk machine upstairs has its own shut off, which is this plunger right here, and then this is the milk meter that's reading the amount of pounds that the cows are producing. These milk meters that we have, they're pretty basic, bottom of the line milk meters. The main reason we have them is so that the milking machines know when a cow is close to being done milking, that the machine comes off automatically. So that's the main reason we have these milk meters. We don't collect individual milk weights from each cow all the time. So yeah, walking down the line here, so there's 24 of these, one for every machine upstairs, and then the computer is in here for, well, there's two for two machines upstairs and one box here. And then the milk comes down to the end here into what we call our receivers. There's one on either side. And then from here, it gets pumped upstairs to where our milk tanks are, our milk tank and our milk silo. So we'll head up there, show you where the milk goes from here. The milk comes down through this pipe, up here, down to the far end. So I'm in our milk room now. So the milk comes up from the basement there, goes into this receiver up here. We just started milking again here just a few minutes ago, so we're filling into this tank. But it comes into this receiver. There's a pump underneath that panel there on a VFD, and then we're pumping through these filters here, then through our plate cooler, which is cooling the milk. So the majority of the cooling is done by water coming into the farm, and then the last 10 degrees or so is done with compressors. And the milk will enter into either this bulk tank here on the left or our milk silo on the right. So this milk silo, they picked up 2 loads out of that this morning. It was washed. Now it's ready to go for this afternoon when this tank is full. So we're filling this one now. Should be full around 5 o'clock this afternoon, this evening, and then we'll milk into this one. So we have 2 loads of milk going out a day here, and we go back and forth between the tank and the silo basically, unless we have issues that the milk can't be delivered, like storm or something like that. Then we'll continue to milk into our silo until they're able to empty it out, I guess. I'll take you over into our equipment room now. So this is where all our tea dip, chemical, hot water heaters. This is a pasteurizer for milk that we feed to our calves. We use towels to clean the udders on the cows, and we wash and reuse those towels. So we have washers and dryers. Air compressors, all the gates, the crowd gate and the parlor, all those gates in there, they're all controlled by air. Plus all the valves on the milking lines, they're all controlled by air. And then our vacuum pumps. So we have 2 vacuum pumps. One is a backup. Just like we have 2 air compressors, the one on the left, the smaller one, is a backup. A lot of things that we have here for the milking equipment we have 2 of, or we have spares that we can easily replace, just in case we have breakdowns, that we can quickly switch over to a vacuum pump or switch a milk pump out and keep milking. Not much else in this building here. More chemical and tea dip that we have stored here. I will head into the barns. I'll show you what our milking barns look like. You've seen some of them already in my videos. So these cows here are done milking. They're just heading back to their pen. And the next group of cows, if you can see that here, the next group of cows is coming into the holding area here now. It's the next day here. I didn't have time to finish filming yesterday, so I'm back behind our holding area here again. So if we look to the south, there's our separator building is just on the left there in between the 2 barns, and on the far side there is a barn with milking cows. And then we go, and then this barn back here, and then on the north, down the end of that alley, there's a barn that's identical to the one to the south. So we'll look into this barn here first. So on the left here, this is what we would call our fresh pen. So these are all cows that are just from one day milking to about 10 to 14 days milking. And then on the right, this is a high production pen. So this pen is with 3 rows of free stalls, and the pen on the left here is just with 2 rows. And then on the far side, along the end of the barn, there's a walk alley that goes all the way to the back of this barn. So we'll move our fresh cows are down here, and then our hospital pen, our treated cows, are also down here, and they'll use that walkway to go up to the parlor. in this first drop in here on the left, these are all cows that have calved within the last day and a half. And then on the right there of that gate, those would be our cows that are treated with antibiotics. Their milk's not going into the tank, and we move them into a separate pen so that they can get the extra attention that they need. And then on the very back there, that's where they'll take these cows. They'll take them in the back there if they need to check their milk for mastitis, or if they want to check rumination. If they need to give them an IV, they'll bring them back there so that they can work with them. Now we'll head over to our north barn. You've seen me in there a couple times already in a few videos, and then the barn to the south, those two barns are identical. They're 500 feet long, and this barn that I'm in now is half that length and the same width, so 250 feet long and 120 feet wide. So I'm just walking from behind the holding area there to the north barn. This alley, or this building that we're in right here, we call it a connecting alley, basically connecting the center barn and the holding area to this north barn. And then there's 4 pens of cows in this barn. This barn is also a 6-row barn, so there's 3 rows of free stalls on either side of the feed alley, and there's a feed alley on either side of this center lane. These 2 pens here that we're looking at here on the left and on the right, these would be our first lactation cows, or first lactation heifers. And then these 2 pens on this side, these are high production cows. All these 4 of these pens, plus the 1 high production pen that we were just by, that's on the other side of where our fresh pen is, those are all fed twice a day. And then there's 2 pens in our south barn that are fed twice a day, and 2 pens that we would call our late lactation pens. So basically what that means is those cows are closer to going dry, and what that means is that they're going to have, when they go dry, they're going to have their calf within 2 months, typically maybe a little under 50 to 60 days. So we reduce the energy in their ration somewhat, so they start producing a little bit less milk to prepare them to go into their dry period, basically. I'll show you that barn quick, but it's exactly the same as the one we just came from. So I'm just getting to our south barn here. Yeah, like I said, exactly the same as that north barn. So there's 2 pens of cows on the east side of this center manure alley, and then 2 pens of cows on the west side. So these 2 pens here on the left and the right, these would be our late lactation cows, and on the other side, those are high production cows. I don't think I really talked about it much in the other videos, but these barns, they have the inflatable tubes as curtains that helps keep sunlight coming into this barn, and it also helps with insulation. These milking cow barns here, they don't ever freeze, even if it's 40 below zero. We'll get some freezing near the doors at the end, but for the most part, the alleys where the cows are always walking, those won't freeze up. We'll get some freezing on the manure alleys that's going from the barn to the other barn, so the connecting alley, those will freeze up sometimes, but it has to get pretty cold for it to really freeze up solid, I guess. I think that'll probably be it for this video. If you have any more questions, or if you want me to explain something a little bit better, put it in the comments, and yeah, I'll try to answer them as best as I can, like I have before. And yeah, if there's certain questions that I think are worth shooting a Q&A video on, I'll definitely do that. Appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.